kind of listening to you a bit.
I don't really need it. I'm just gonna tell you guys here. I'll tell you guys later. So it was a 2-unit, $1.5 million home, and like the Sunset, which is like kind of a nice area in San Francisco. I was 18 years old. Okay, like if you think I look like I'm 12 now, imagine like 8 years ago what I looked like. I looked like I was 6. Okay, so the idea there is that it was like this huge undertaking. It was this very expensive home. I didn't know what I was doing, and the other agent, who's like a Sotheby's agent, as it turned out, essentially walked me through the entire process, step by step. I was a listing agent, and he was just so cool, man. He was like you do look terrified every time I talk to you. Like, I've never seen anyone sweat that profusely, and you need some help, man. So he helped me out. He basically did the whole transaction himself. We both got that obscene commission check off of that, and I thought I was the best agent in the world. I got through like this expensive sale, and I realize now that I knew nothing, and I still know nothing. So with that, I'm going to present to you guys about everything I know. Right? Good. Okay. So who here? I mean, everyone's on Facebook, right? I mean, just show of hands. You don't have to raise your hand. Everyone's on Facebook, right? Everybody. So what I want to talk to you guys about today are ways, and mainly one way that you can use Facebook intentionally. Okay, so what do I mean by intentional? So some people go through life and their engagements with other people and just communications without intention. They'll post things like, oh man, like I really hate Mondays, or I don't like my boss, or I just got fired because I don't like my boss, and things like that. Like that's really what people, like the personal diaries, right? So what I'm suggesting here is to post things and to treat Facebook as a CRM, the most powerful one you have. I mean, there's nothing more powerful than Facebook. Everyone's already in this, right? You don't have to upload anything. A CRM, a lead generation machine, and a referral source. Okay, and you can do this easily and without like spending a whole lot of money and time or anything like that. So Facebook basically is, and so way back when like Mark Zuckerberg and whatever the guy in social media, his name was, we don't know, I think it was the point of the social media movies, we just don't know what his name is. When they were in the Harvard dorm, building this whole thing, they built it off of 3 parameters. Okay, affinity, weight, and they called it decay. I don't like that word. So recency. Okay, so what do these mean? So affinity basically means that. So first of all, who like has found they've liked someone's post, and all of a sudden they just see that person on their newsfeed every single time after that, for the most part, right? Okay, good. So. I mean, how many, like, just shout out someone. How many Facebook friends do you have? Someone who thinks they have a lot of Facebook friends, just shout it out. A number, any number. You gotta engage. I'll just stand here like a silly person if you know it. How much, 1,500? How many people do you see on your newsfeed at any given time?
A lot less than that.
Like a lot less than that, right? Okay. So, what's your name?
Heather.
Heather. The last person I talked to over there was Heather too. What a full circle. Okay, so affinity means this. Let's say Heather posts something really cool, like a really cool picture of a dog. I love dogs, like a really cool picture of a dog, and I like that post. Affinity is basically Facebook's algorithm, that mathematical equation I was talking about before that Mark Zuckerberg made in his dorm. Facebook is saying that, okay, well, he likes what she wrote, maybe she's gonna like what he writes, and let's show each other their post as much as possible, right? That's what affinity is. So if you comment on someone's post, if you share somebody's post, if you like somebody's post, that's Facebook's mathematical equation saying, let's pair these people up, right, and have their posts kind of go in front of one another. Okay, does that make sense so far, what I'm saying? What affinity is? Is that everyone kind of on board with that? Any questions so far about that? Okay, cool. I haven't said too much, so hopefully not. So that's affinity. The second one is weight. Weight is like, okay, how many people here have not spoken to someone for like 2 or 3 years, and all of a sudden you see that they're getting married? Right? Me. I mean, I'm 26, so everyone's getting married except for me right now. That's pretty much what I'm experiencing right there. And those posts where the people saying they get married, basically it's like hundreds of likes, congratulations, tons of comments, a lot of shares, and there's a reason that you're seeing that. It's because it has a heavy weight. Now the weight is basically how much people, in a very general sense, are engaging with that particular post. Okay? So with me so far. So for example, if Heather, I'm not picking on you, it's the only person whose name I know here. If Heather is posting like a really cool picture, like 500 people like it and share it, even if Heather and I haven't spoken in years, I'm still going to see that post. Why? Because it has a heavy weight. Okay? So the third one there So we have affinity, we have weight. Everyone good on affinity and weight? Because I need to go through all this before we can lead into the actual foolproof posting schedule that I came here to talk to you guys about today. When I say foolproof posting schedule, I'm talking about the way that I went from having like 6 likes on every post and you know, picture and things like that I post. I now have triple digits in everything almost. I mean, like 60, 100, sometimes 120 likes, comments. I don't have like more friends, right? I'm just using the algorithm in a more intelligent way. So those, are we good on those two so far? Okay. The last one is time decay. This one is kind of cool. Again, I call it recency. I don't like the word decay, but recency basically means this: after 70 seconds. Okay, who knows what the Facebook graveyard is? Have you ever heard this term, Facebook graveyard? Anybody? Okay. So the Facebook graveyard, and this is actually in the developer log. It's not my term. I wouldn't use it, but that's their terminology for it. After 70 seconds, after you post something, a clock starts ticking. And Facebook's back in. And I don't know how long it takes. It could take minutes, it could take hours, it could take a couple days, but a clock starts ticking. And after a certain amount of time, your post gets, if there's no likes, no comments, nothing like that, it goes straight to the left-hand side. That news ticker, when you're on desktop, nobody will ever see it, right? So it bears mentioning that if you want people to see your posts, you have to A, develop affinity with them, so have some sort of a connection with them. B, get a lot of likes and comments in general. And C, have people and post in times where people are mainly on Facebook and engage on Facebook. Who here knows the average amount of time that someone is on Facebook? Ballpark. I mean, just check that again. Yeah, actually 4.5 hours a day. That's right. Yeah, 4.5 hours a day. They're on this thing. Obviously not all at one time. Not all at one time. And here's what's cool about that. Because they're not all on at one time, that instinctively means that there are prime times, right? Right. So there are times when a lot of people are on, a lot of people, times when a lot of people are on. Not a lot of people. So those prime times are 7:30 in the morning. You might want to write this down if you got. I mean, you can certainly be sitting on your phone looking at it. There's no problem with that, but you might want to write this part down. What is it? This is probably one of the prime times for Facebook, right? Like right now, everyone's on Facebook. So you can 7:30 in the morning, 9:30 in the morning, 12:30 in the afternoon, early afternoon, like noon, just noon, 4:30 and 6:30. By no means am I saying post one thing at each one of these times, because there's some people who post like one thing a day or like not even one thing a day. And if you start posting 6 things a day, people are going to think you legitimately lost your mind. Like, who is this person? Why? Who took over Rachel's Facebook, right? So what I am saying is, if you're going to post something, do 2 things. Post to what your audience wants to see, because that's really what your engagement is, and post at a time you know they're going to be there. Okay, you can have the most amazing post, the most like seriously like connecting post that you feel like everyone's gonna like. You post at 2 o'clock in the morning and it's gone. Like no one's gonna see it, right? Because everyone's asleep. Most people, anyway. Not me. I work kind of late, but that most people are gonna be asleep at that time. So here's the schedule I'm kind of thinking about, and this is what I do, and this is what you know again took me from having. First of all, okay, before I back up, I usually have like a slideshow behind me here, so I'm a lot more organized as a human being when I have like a guideline. You're kind of seeing a very transparent sense of how my mind works right now. It's not pretty, I realize that. Thank you, bear with me. But in any case, so who here has made a sale off Facebook? I mean, I want to see some hands. Come on. Or at least someone who you know on Facebook contacted you from Facebook, not like a lead, but just someone from Facebook contacted you. 1, 2, I know we have more than that. I know it's, okay, so 3, 4, bunch of people. More than 3, more than 4, more than 5. 80% of my business comes from Facebook. Okay, and that's not me saying that I'm like amazing, like a whiz kid at Facebook. I know what I'm talking about. It's strictly because that's my green zone. I can't do things that you guys do effectively. I'm horrible at door knocking. I can't cold call. I stutter when I get on the phone. I mean, you still don't know. I stutter when I get on the phone. By the time I finish a sentence, they hang up on me. It's done. Networking events, I'm okay at. As long as they let me speak at the event, I'm pretty good. So, because you're all like listening to what I'm saying right now, which is great. So, but those things right there, that's why I got good at Facebook, because it's like the only thing I can do effectively and actually get a good amount of business in. Okay, so the reason I went over that is because I kind of want you guys to get a sense, like I'm not just like making this stuff up, but the place I get this from is Facebook's developer log, right? They publish all this stuff for us all to see. It's just all written in like software text and like, you know, complex stuff like that. So nobody can, it's like they published it in like Greek Braille for us all to read, right? But by the way, I should have been like reading like mortgage guidelines and things like that instead of Facebook loan officer. But, you know, that I'm still okay at mortgage, by the way. Just give us a spread, but I'm much better at Facebook and things like that. So okay, what I'm going at there is at 7:30. Okay, the thing to post at 7:30 is a motivational picture or text or a meme, right? Who knows what a meme is? Like a lot of people know what a meme is. Okay, I figured. It's YPN, everyone knows what a meme is. So a meme, for those who don't know, is basically just a picture with a text overlay. It's much more than that, but that's kind of what it is. A picture with a text overlay that people are gonna like. So your morning meme is going to be basically something motivational, like I'm not scared of Mondays. Mondays are scared of me, or something like that. Like that's very cheesy, but something actually good. Like not what I just said. By no means what I just said, please. So that's gonna be your morning one. Why? Because what do people need in the morning? Motivation and coffee. You can't bring them coffee, but you can motivate them, right? We have any questions so far that I'm going for? Anyone has any questions? Yeah.
I'm sorry, but I was on Affinity and wait. What was the third one?
Time decay.
Time decay.
Recency. That's that 70-second countdown that I mentioned. After 70 seconds,
okay. So
it starts kicking in.
We past that now. Now we're on to.
Onto the posting schedule, the schedule that I was talking about. Yes, that was a good question. So the question was like, what was the third thing I talked about? It was recency. Now I'm moving on to posting. The reason I went over that thing right there is I'm leading up. It's kind of like a snowball thing, right? I'm leading up to it, and I'm going to be talking about like why we need to know these things and why those things matter to our posting schedule. And it's going to be the second or third thing I talk about. Second now that I talk about the first one, doesn't matter. No one's counting. So that's the morning. 7:31 in the morning, something motivational. I mean, so that's pretty easy, right? You go on like Reddit or 9gag or something, find something, and you just post it, and it's there, it's done. You don't have to worry about it again. Try to do it as consistently as possible, but that's the prime time because everyone is getting up and looking at their phone. When you roll over, you check your phone. For the most part, that's what I do. Okay, so 9:30 to 10. What you want to do is post something to the stay-at-home parent crowd, stay-at-home dads, stay-at-home moms. Why? Because that's the time, you take Junior off to school and, you go run your errands and you come back and you sit down in front of your couch. What do? You turn the TV on, flick this thing up. Like, if you're nothing there to do, you can get on Facebook. That's a prime time, right? So, like, I know a lot of people who do that. In doing that, in posting at those times, you can basically engage with, like, the things that matter to them. So, who here has kids? Children? Who here has cute kids? Some hands go down. Wait a second. So, we'll get back to that later. But the point is, like, post something cute your kids did, right? If you have like a pet or a dog, like a cat or a squirrel, pet squirrel, some kind of pet, post about that. And because what you're doing right there is you're appealing to a certain audience. Every single time you're appealing to a certain audience. Okay. So that's. Anyone have any questions about the 7:30 or the 9:30? Anyone? Are we good with that so far? Okay. So. Why am I talking about all this edge rank stuff and engagement? Because at the end of the day, you want people to like your stuff. Why do you want people to like your stuff? Because when you actually do advertise yourself intelligently, you want them to be there to look at it, right? So that's what you're doing. That's the insidious thing behind it. So 12:30, 11:30, 12:30, that's your commercial. Like the way that television programs work, there's commercials. There's like 80% content, 20% commercial. This is your commercial. And I'm not saying like, right? Like, oh, I just got a listing, or oh, I just made a sale, or something like that. I think that's kind of one mistake that we make is we kind of overemphasize the amount of listings and sales we make, and that's, you have 300,000 people in the state doing this at the same time. It kind of clutters it up. And just think about it, like the guy like Best Buy, for example, like Best Buy, the computer store, he doesn't like just scanned an Xbox, just sold some diapers. Like, he doesn't do that, right? So like, we're better than that. We don't need to do that, but we can advertise ourselves in an intelligent way, right? So what you should do at that point, for that one right there, post like an experience you had with the client. Post like a lesson you extracted from that experience, and then try to engage somebody. Like, for example, oh man, I just went through this really difficult negotiation with a buyer. We came out on top of the negotiation. It was great. The buyer's very happy they're being home. What's a difficult negotiation that you guys have gone through? So what you've done there, you've identified yourself as someone who is, A, in business and doing business. B, you have basically, kind of said that you're vulnerable. Vulnerability is huge because you're not like some like stoic wall. You're not perfect. You're people like to deal with humans, right? You're saying you're a human. And C, what you're effectively doing is you're engaging people to respond to you, and the people who respond to you are eventually going to be people who are going to get more edge rank with you, and it snowballs down. Edge rank is those 3 parameters I mentioned before. Are we all good so far on kind of 7:30 to noon? Good? Okay. 5 minutes? Okay, I'm really close to being done. Super close. Okay, so after that post right there, it's like business as usual for you guys. Like, you guys cold call, you guys prospect, whatever you guys do to prospect and work or go show properties, that's a good time to do it because that's nobody's on Facebook. It's like the dead zone, Facebook dead zone. So at 4:30 again, right? I know I'm giving a lot of information. I wish I didn't have to go so quick, but at 4:30 again, you're going to get another prime time, another spike in activity. Because why? At 4:30. Right. I mean, who here's worked an office job before they did this, right? Yeah. Okay. A lot of people. Who here has been like gung ho from start all the way to 5 o'clock in the afternoon? Like I'm powering through. Like at 4:30, what are you doing? You're busting out your phone down here. Your boss is over there. He's not looking at me. You're scrolling through Facebook. That's what like 90% of the people do. That's what I did when I was anyway. But saying too much now. In any case, so at that time you're going to post something funny, like a joke, right? To get people to want to like. They're not going to comment because again they're doing it in the city, so bless you. But you're going to want them to like your. To like your post, right? So that's the 4:31. The next one you're going to do is called the happy hour post. That's the one that's like between 6:30 and like 9. Post something funny, but something that will get people to comment and engage and things like that. And that's really, so the schedule is 7:30, 9:30, 12:30, 4:30, and 6:30. Again, by no means you have to do that. Like you don't have to post 6 times in a day. It'd be crazy if you did. But just take it to heart. When you are going to post something, post to the audience that you want to work with. When you are going to post at a certain time, just be conscious of who's there at that time, and just that's really it. I mean, that's so like a happy hour post, like a funny kind of a thing. Like same as the 4:30, but maybe not like a picture, maybe just like a question, like a funny question, like the term is shower thought. Like someone's like, oh, I just thought of this funny thing, and like the light bulb came on, something like that, where it's you get people to want to comment or respond to what you're saying. And things like that. Yeah, good question. Just like a funny picture, like a funny looking. You guys probably seen tons of these things on Facebook. Just like a funny joke picture. Okay, I probably have like a minute and a half left for Jillian, who's not here, so I think we have a little more time. Any questions? Anybody have any questions about what I'm talking about here in general? Yeah.
Well, just to clarify, you're not saying post all those posts every day. Just when you post just post within those categories so that you're targeting the correct audience.
Exactly. And, be intentional about it because those are people who are eventually going to want to work with you. I mean, 7:30 in the morning, those people are people who are like working, the W-2 employees. Those are people who can buy. The stay-at-home crowd generally, if there's one person working, one person not working, they can afford to buy it or sell. They're doing okay. The noon one, that's everyone's on there, so that's when you post about yourself. The 4:30, they're people at work again. So, and the 6:30 are people who can afford to go to happen. Okay, cool, absolutely. So, any other questions? Anything else? Really? Todd Holland. Okay, gotcha. So really, no other questions. Okay. I'm going to take that as I just did a really, really great presentation. That was very, very informative. That, I think we're good, right? Thank you guys. Appreciate it.